Actually, Joseph Allen Stein was probably the reason I'm an architect today. He was such an iconic architect. He reinvented architecture in contemporary sort of modern India, and the visual connections between the garden and the house, or the garden and the building, is so beautifully integrated that one doesn't feel that you're surrounded by a closed room with four walls, because there was always this element of bringing in the outdoors into all of Stein's buildings.
Any wall which is suspended, we have plastered, or it is washed aggregate. So you can see all the walls, the rest of the wall, so that you never have to paint anything. That was the basic principle. So washed aggregate was his, I would say, his contribution to Indian architecture. For the last 50 years, it has been used extensively. His innovation, that you will see how he has been innovative at every step, whether he uses precast concrete block or precast concrete coffers. These coffers are all precast. He cannot justify a material. There is no value for money, you may use that word, and which will be not cost effective. He'll never do that.
Right from the detailing of every little jali to every turn, he would spend hours to even design how to make sure how pigeons would not roost on the jali by making sleeves that would turn every time a pigeon sat on it. I think he really was one that proved that God is in details, and right from the master planning to the smallest architectural detail, Stein's work stands out among all his peers.
Though the room specifications are very, very basic, but anyone who has come and stayed here insists on repeating the experience. In fact, it will be nice to know that for the first 25 years, there was no application for membership here. And today, if you apply and get it, it is like getting a Padma Shri.
The scale of Stein's buildings is something that doesn't intimidate or overpower, but makes one feel comfortable. So it's that quality of being able to balance the scale of a building.
I think functionality was definitely a hallmark of the design. When you walk in out here, it's a very imposing facade at one level. Sort of obviously, architecture, the buildings are always higher and bigger than a human being. This building immediately accepts you as a human being, and everywhere around you get this feeling of cordiality, saying that this is made for human beings. This is not made for emperors and princes and presidents kind of a thing.
Massive space, but yet it has its own open spaces. It has a lot of interactive spaces, yet personal spaces.
The architect is capable of changing the behavior of the people who use the space. So an architect who has achieved that and managed to achieve that for so many years, there's a lot to be said about what he does.
It's a sunscreen which has been designed to keep the summer sun out and let in the winter sun.
It regulates the microclimate, plus it also creates a lot of interactive space for the people. It's not that you come to an office space, you're limited to your space. It's like you're connected to everyone else around in this space.
As in your Noida or your Bombay, anything, this is just a glass building. We are just making ovens and then trying to cool them. That is a sad part of today's day and time.
I had a lot of respect for him for several reasons. his conception, his vision, his love for nature, and very meticulous.
He was ruthless in terms of demanding how construction should be done. I recall when Ford Foundation concrete was being done and it started drizzling or raining, and he rushed to this site and he found that the concrete was not yet covered with any protective layer. And I remember he fired the clerk of works right that day.
I think he was American by birth, but I think he was more committed to Indian and Indian architect, and I think it was privilege for India to give him the Padma Shri.
He knew very well that he's having a very hard surface. But as I said, he believed in the honesty of structure, honesty of construction. There was no room for any compromise.
Absolutely.
Even J.R.D. Tata, when he visited our building, he was all praise. And he said, I have still to see a building so well designed.
People say that, okay, we have put a better compressor, we put a better, we put the best air conditioning system that you can have. But do you really need that air conditioning system? Nobody goes into looking at that. It's micro detailing. But nobody does that. Here it's one prototype and repeat.
And it really would have been interesting to have Mr. Stein around to see how he would have tackled some of these issues. The traits about Mr. Stein which I think I admire most was his integrity.
India Habitat Center, he reduced the FAR.
He was perhaps not as flamboyant or as much of an extrovert, but he was a deep thinker, and what he did was to absorb everything.
He believed in honesty of structure, honesty in the use of material, honesty in the detailing, and honesty ultimately even in the concept.
He never tried to, and he didn't have to sort of make any flamboyant gesture because his buildings were intrinsically so wonderful. And I think that was the greatness of the man, that he kept everything very low-key, very simple and very grounded.
He wouldn't stop designing till he was fully satisfied.
It was the detailing of things like sunscreens, spandrel windows, jalis, all that together makes all these buildings relevant in any age, and they're really timeless classics of Indian architecture.
And I'm sure that 50 years hence, there will still be groups of students and people coming in to take a look and see what has been designed and how it has stood the test of time in terms of structure, in terms of architecture, in terms of space, in terms of environment created.
I still say the concern for environment which he had, the concern for making a building sustainable is more valid today than when he started.
And I think the greatest tribute to Stein that, in my own small way I can make is to always ensure that my buildings are contextual. And I think that's what he always strived at and always believed in.
I think it was very well said by Churchill that first you shape the building and then the building shapes you. I have no hesitation in calling this is a classical architecture. It is almost like Bhairavi or singing over hundreds of years, and you are finding new interpretations
every day.